Okay, let's go with the next one. This is I don't want to pronounce the last name or that part of the name wrong, so I'm just gonna say Dex. This is my first sculpting. Tell me where I am wrong, what I have to improve. Sorry, I know there is only one character, and also guide me with texturing roadmap because I want to go for realistic texturing. This is my portfolio link. I am happy to get a feedback. Let's take a look. Nice, yeah, you did the Oni. This is one of our famous courses there on the site. A lot of people have learned and enjoyed this course. It's a ZBrush course in its essence, in its core, but it's about also like a character creation. So there's a couple of things that I see on this one that could be improved. First of all, if you're doing rendering, man, I don't know where you're doing your rendering, whether if it's Maya or Blender, but make sure to turn on the denoiser. Like, you're not using the denoiser, you're getting a lot of noise. It's fine, like a little bit of noise, it's not gonna kill anyone, but it can definitely look a little bit better. Anatomy-wise, there are a couple of things that I would fix a little bit. So, mainly the obliques right here. Okay, so the obliques, they do push out a little bit more. The latissimus is fine, but the obliques are a little bit too small right there. So you need to push them before going in back into the body. As for the props, all of the props look good. The belts look good. The feet, yeah, everything looks fine. So proportions wise, he does look a little bit short, but I think it's the obliques that make him look a little bit short. Like, if we fix the obliques right there, that should make it a little bit more proportional, I would say. Because everything else looks okay. So what you need to do is we need to go through a process called retopology, where we retopologize the whole character with a low poly version of the element, usually with specific specific elements such as animation loops and things like that. And then we... Wolf Girl just gave out 3 more C tier 1 subs. Wait, am I not... My god, I was... Sorry, guys. The chat was hidden all this time because I forgot to change the proper thing. Even YouTube missed all of the chat there. I'm sorry. So yeah, there you go, Wolf Girl. Thank you very much for the for the magic trick, for the subs right there. Thank you so much. So yeah, this is what I was telling you about, my friend. You need to go through a retopology process on the character. You want to go back to the version of the character where he's not post, because doing retopology on the post character can be done, but it's very tricky. So it's very important that you go to a basic, so like V pose or A pose. You do retopology, you do UVs, and then you do the texturing process. If you want to check some of the courses, there's the retopology course, and then there's the substance course. There we go. Yeah, we got to the gold sub. 65 subs, guys. Thank you very much. Darth Bean, thank you for the sub as well, my friend. Let's see. Grace God says, how would you approach like advanced study of shading in industry renders, like V-Ray aspects? We select your fake bevels, smooth transitions between disconnected geometry, and many more. Tutorials are going to cover. Okay, so Grace God, I'm gonna show you one of my secrets, but this is very... What's the word? I don't know. I think this is very weird and very nerdy. But I really love going into documentation. So I'm one of those people who will just jump into the documentation, for instance, here in Arnold, and I'll start like literally looking through this stuff. Because if you go to the shaders, and for instance, we go to the, let's look for bevel shader on Arnold. There we go. So you will find all of this information on how it works, how it connects, the kind of stuff. It's very technical. It is very technical, and you're not going to find a lot of tutorials about this because a lot of people don't like doing this, right? They don't like going into the documentation and doing the work, like reading how these tools work. But if you go here, you're gonna find a lot of very cool stuff. And yes, it does require a little bit more, again, time investment and understanding of how this functions. But once you do it, you're gonna have skills that very few people out there have. So personally, I like to first look at the documentation, because if it's not in the documentation, then that means that it's not something that's going to be as easily accessible, and then you're looking at more like hacky ways of finding how to get something to work. But most of the softwares out there have good documentations. So my advice, get excited about reading documentation. That's what I do every time there's an update on ZBrush, Maya, Blender, Substance Painter. I go to the documentation and I read about it. Like I go and I try to understand the specific things that they are sharing. So we have a random emote, looks like. Unlocked now? What the hell? I don't know how this works. Oh, anyway, so let's see. In the Discord channel, they put a post in there for the month. Yeah, exactly. The right now the submissions are closed, but we'll have one more next month. Hey, Ava, I want to Sean, I mean, you can upload to ArtStation. That's usually the place to go. So that will be my advice for you, and you can submit on the next game. If you're trying to get in games, shouldn't you render it in game? Yes, ideally, if you're trying to get into games, Folly, you definitely want to render or show your characters either on Unity, Unreal, or Marmoset. Those are like the common places to show your work. You can also do Blender with Eevee, and you could even do Maya with Viewport 2.0. So the only thing is you want to show things running in real time. That's the important part. So yeah, in this case, my friend, try to check if you want to do the retopology process for this guy, and then texturing. That's the next step for you. But this is a good start. This is a good first sculpt. Of course, there's things to improve and things to get better at, but not freaking bad.